welcome back to my channel. This is the Reddit Mess, where I read a bunch of Reddit stories. We're going to have a haha kiki moment, and of course, I'm going to give my unsolicited advice. That's what we're going to do. So anyways, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And today's topics, we're just gonna be all over the place. I want to just do stories that just exude chaos. That's just messy. So let's get into it. So the first subreddit to all this chaos that we're about to get into today is relationship advice. So the person starts off with, I'm 25 female, husband is 26 male, broke our dog's legs. I'm worried for the child I'm currently carrying. So hello all, throwaway for obvious reasons. I'm a big pet lover. We have several dogs, reptiles, frogs, and small animals. I work in the pet care industry and have recently lost my job due to the shutdown. That being the case, I've been home a lot more often and I noticed the animals aren't attached to him like me. I thought nothing of it as I care for them mainly and had most of them before we got together. Our pets have their own room, and yesterday I went to let our dogs out and our 5-pound Chihuahua mix was limping and putting no weight on his legs. My husband jokingly said a few minutes before I checked on him, I got Rufus to stop scratching the door. I thought nothing of it until my poor dog was unable to move. I took him to the vet and they did x-rays to let me know that Rufus' hips was broken. They said being so small, it could be because he jumped off the furniture and hurt himself, as he's rather old as well. My husband later admitted that he lost his temper, picked Rufus up the scruff and beat him. He feels incredibly guilty and wants nothing to do with any of the pets now. I found out yesterday I'm pregnant and I'm worried he may lose his temper with a newborn, much worse than Rufus' constant scratching. What do I do? I love this man and we've been married for half a decade now. Baby. Me personally, this is a red flag. This right here is subjective. This is just my opinion. Of course, you guys let me know what you guys think in the comments, but I find it's a red flag because what you're showing me is you don't have control over your emotions to the point where you have to exude force to stop something. Like my little baby right there is 6 pounds. And I feel like I would have to exude a lot of force. Not saying that I'm trying to. Please don't misinterpret my words, you guys. I love my animals. But I feel as though you would have to exude a lot of force to break a damn dog's hip. I'm just saying. But she did say the dog was older, but still, like, I really truly feel like you would have to exude some force to break a damn dog's hip. I'm just saying that. Another thing that stood out to me was she said she's been with her husband for over a decade. Over a decade, and none of her animals fuck with her, and none of her animals mess with her husband like that. I find that quite interesting. Like, my babies, especially this guy right here, he's a very reactive dog. So there's some people he's not going to let get close to him, but then there's other people where he just wants to be loved up on. It could be a total stranger. He would literally run up to them and have them pet him. So I feel like dogs are really big on picking up energies, auras, like whatever you have it. I feel like dogs are really good at that. So the fact that you and your husband have been together for over a decade and none of your animals have warmed up to him. And then the fact that I'm an animal lover and you sound like you're an animal lover. I mean, you said you work in the pet industry. I would not feel comfortable bringing life into this world with a man that felt the need to exude that kind of force because he could not control your dog scratching at the door. Babies, they cry when they're hungry. They cry when they wet their diapers. What is he going to do then? What is he going to do on the on the off day that he's really upset or annoyed by something that's transpired, or he's annoyed that the baby won't stop crying then? Like, what is he going to do? That I would be side-eyeing him, like, what the hell? I'm also curious. I mean, she doesn't talk about their relationship. There were no updates. But I'm also curious how they interact with each other. She says she's been with him for over half a decade. Like, has she not seen any red flags? I don't know. There's no update, but I would definitely say that in itself, me personally, I wouldn't be able to stay. There was just too many red flags. Let's go through the list one more time. He made the joke. Yeah, like I got the dog to stop scratching at the door. That's funny to you that you broke my damn dog's hip? My dog is out here limping and you're over here making jokes? Because let's call a spade a spade. He would have had to have seen the dog walking around before she did. If he did that, he would have had to have seen that dog walk around before she did. And he's over here making jokes arbitrarily. Like, no. No. That's not funny. It was never funny. It will never be funny. It's not funny. Mm-mm. That's number one. Number two, the fact that the other thing that I caught that was kind of off-putting, yeah, like he feels incredibly guilty by it, but he doesn't want anything to do with the dogs. I'm sorry. Is that not weird to you guys? Like, how are you gonna sit up there and say, yeah, like I feel really guilty, but I don't want anything to do with your dogs. Yeah, I broke your dog's hip, but I don't want anything to do with it anymore. Like, sweetie. What? What? Deflecting. I'm sorry, sweetie, what? You broke my damn dog's hip and you don't want nothing to do with my dogs now? Or any of my pets? You're deflecting. You are deflecting. And what I mean by deflecting is he's not getting down to the root of the problem. The problem was he could not control the dog scratching at the door, so he decided to use force. And then he broke the damn dog's hip. Yes, I'm going to keep reiterating that he broke the damn dog's hip because I can't get that out of my mind. Like, you couldn't control the dog, so you took it upon yourself to be like, I'm gonna get you to stop. And you broke my baby's hip. And now you're saying you want nothing to do with my dog? He's deflecting the root of the issue here, which is him. Baby, you need help. You need help. I feel like I don't care. I don't care if I've been with you for a decade. I don't care if I'm in my wheelchair rolling around the house. Baby, I'm not going to be able to unsee that. Because if you're doing it now, because it always starts off, let me say this because I'm about to drop a gem. Abuse always starts off small. It could be the littlest things. Like, you wouldn't even be paying attention to it. You just think, oh, like, he's just, that's just him. Like, he's just being loving. Like, he's just taking that extra step of caring about me. No, it starts off small. And then it works its way up to something as, putting their hands on you. So maybe she's been with him for a decade and this was the first time he exhibited this type of behavior. I don't know. There were no updates. But you not being able to control your temperament, you not being able to control what someone else is doing, the fact that you have to exude force, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. And again, it starts off small and it could honestly work its way up to him putting his hands on her the moment she does something that he doesn't care for, the moment that she says something that he didn't like. I would leave. I'm just saying that. The next subreddit is, am I the asshole? And the question is, am I the asshole for inviting, I'm 29 male, girlfriend is 28 female, on an expensive vacation and expecting her to pay all of her share? I make a lot more than she does. So it starts off with, hello, my girlfriend, myself, my parents, and my brother and his wife all went on vacation in another country a week ago. My brother and I were the ones who did most of the planning of the itinerary, although we did ask everyone else for their input. For background, I make around $150,000 as an IT consultant. My girlfriend is a teacher making $45,000. My parents are pretty affluent, as well as my brother and sister-in-law. My girlfriend knew this trip was coming up and took on a second job waitressing on the weekends for several months to get ready for it. Aww. We've always split 50-50 in the 2 years we've been together. There were a few times on the vacation where she did not go on outings with us. Wine tasting, scuba diving, etc. She would also only eat 2 meals a day, simply stating that she was on a budget. My family does favor more high-end, expensive places. My parents thought it was very strange that she only eats 2 meals a day, although normally she eats 3. When we got home, I asked her why she skipped out on several of the outings and only ate 2 meals a day. I mentioned how I heard her stomach growling one night and said I was concerned about her having an eating disorder. No, he didn't. Yeah, you usually eat 3 meals a day, but I've been noticing you only eat 2. And then I heard your stomach growling, and not one point in that whole trip you said, hey babe, like, do you want to, go out to eat my treat? Not at all. Not once. She got teary-eyed and said that 3 meals a day wasn't physically feasible for her, and neither were the outings that she chose not to go on. She went on a 3 of 6 outings. She said she was not expecting everything to cost so much, and she was overwhelmed. She also said she doesn't know this is going to work long-term if she is expected to go on vacations like that with people who make so much more than her. I feel bad that I did not pick up on her discomfort sooner, but we did agree to split everything 50-50. And I don't know why she agreed to come if the cost was an issue. Why say goodbye to what we had? Baby, you don't have to worry about me no more. Is he the asshole here? Yes, he is. This whole story is a mess. It's a mess. Again, this is subjective. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But this is a mess to me. It's one thing, I understand they agreed about 50-50. Okay, whatever. It's the fact that she took it upon herself to get a job. She's waitressing. She's busting her ass. He said it took several months. And she still could not afford half the shit that they called themselves doing on this vacation. It's the simple fact that he was in control of the itinerary, and not once did he look at that itinerary, knowing her budget, because homeboy dropped down the figures that she makes annually. So knowing her budget and look, and then planning the trip, nowhere at that moment in time you're like, damn, like, you know what, this may be a little too much for my girl. This may be a little too much. And even if that was the case, how come you couldn't just help her? Not for like the whole trip, because clearly she was very willing. I think that's what hurts me the most, is the fact that she didn't ask him for help. Because I feel like if she did, he would have definitely said that. It seemed like she was really trying to be independent here and basically try to keep up with the Benjamins. That's what it seems like she was trying to do, keep up with his ass. So the fact that she was willing to do that, like to meet him halfway, I feel like he should have tried to meet her halfway. Just pick up where she lacks. Like, that's what a partnership is. Like, help your partner. Like, what they lack, you should be able to pick up. Clearly, you guys aren't on the same playing field here. You had access to the itinerary, and then what kills me the most, you over here talking about, yeah, I noticed that she was eating 2 meals a day. Usually she eats 3, and I heard her stomach growling. No point in time did you look at your woman and be like, babe, like, you need to eat, babe. Come on, like, let's go get you something to eat. And then your girl can't even like partake. I don't know. I know if I went on a trip, I don't know. I know if I went on a trip with my partner and this was supposed to be like a vacation, and I'm out here doing stuff with my family, and I'm noticing my girlfriend, like, she's not partaking in stuff that I'm doing, and everyone else is with their significant other, I wouldn't feel right. I wouldn't feel comfortable. So the fact that he's witnessing his girlfriend, like the fact that he's able to just witness her like opt out of these things and go on about his merry way, that doesn't sit right with me. That just, no, nope. And then this is the doozer. I know I keep saying, this is what got me. This is what really got me. He's over here talking about, well, we agreed about 50-50, and I don't know why she agreed to come if the cost was an issue. She wanted to be with her man. She wanted to be with her man. That hurts. This definitely, it really hurts me, because I can see just based off of the story alone, like, she really did try her best to be a part of his life, to be a part of his world. And he's talking about 50-50, like, you couldn't even meet her halfway. And then you have the nerve to sit up there and say, well, why did she agree if the cost is going to be an issue? Because she wanted to be with her man. There were some updates. So this post was deleted, but someone did save it. So this is just like a screenshot of what the individual had put down. So he commented, I also deserve better, so she can date someone that matches her budget. And then he also goes on to say, thank you. This is the first comment that's helped me realize that deep down, I think she's not good enough for me. And I do not want to give her more. I felt this way for a little while, but wasn't sure where the feeling came from. According to you all, she probably deserves better. So I'm sure she will be breaking up shortly. Then he goes on to say, she's an adult, she's not a child, and she went to the pool or went or walked around town. It's not like she was starving in her room. I didn't make her do anything. She makes her own decisions. The next post. I showed her the itinerary and the restaurants we would be going to. She had access to all the information beforehand. She could have suggested that we eat somewhere else, but she did not. And that's how that ends. And that just proves even more that this man is an asshole, because that don't make no damn sense. Like, yes, did she have access to the itinerary? Okay, yeah, so what? She had access to the itinerary. The moment that you see your girl, like, she's not eating 3 meals, she was trying to keep up with you because she wanted to be with you. So the moment that you saw your girl not doing things that she normally did, that's another red flag to me. It's the fact that he knows his girlfriend. It's the fact that he knows her mannerisms, and just simply ignore them. Simply ignore them. Because I'm sure, because this is a family trip, she didn't want to be the one that's out of place. She didn't want to be the one to offer something that wasn't in the plan. So she needed her man to step up in that moment in time. And then the fact that he says, yeah, I think she deserves someone in her own bracket, her own financial bracket. A mess. And then the cherry on top, when homeboy sits up there and says, yeah, what did he say? She's an adult. She's not a child. She went to the pool or went to walk around town. So you were perfectly fine. Again, he was perfectly fine with his girlfriend not spending time with him on the vacation, where his family has their own significant others around there with him, and he's the only one without his girlfriend, and he knows that she's out walking around somewhere, doesn't know where, just somewhere. He's done. Trash. So then the last one, and then we'll be closing out of all this chaos today. Unfortunately, I don't know the subreddit is Am I the Devil? So this person, I guess, like, collects all like the crazy things on the internet, like the ones that were taken down or deleted. So I can't pinpoint the original place. Okay. But it starts off with, this is the throwaway, as I do not want this connected to my main Reddit account for reasons that will become apparent if they aren't already. I met my husband 4 years ago, and it was love at first sight. He was a widow and had a daughter, now 17. It was tough to deal with, I won't lie, but I wanted to be with him so badly that it didn't matter. We got married 2 years ago, and we've had our struggles, I won't deny, but overall it has been a very happy, love-filled marriage. At the beginning of our relationship, I was really jealous of his late wife. He had pictures of her around his home. His family loved her and talked about her. His daughter did the same thing. Wait, is the daughter not supposed to talk about her mom? About how much she loved her mom? I'm sorry. That's weird. Okay, his friends the same. It was tough. I was comparing myself to her. She was beautiful, intelligent, successful. She was a great mother, a friend, a wife, whatever you can think of. I know that people don't like to speak ill of the dead, but I believe them when they say these things. I did speak to my then boyfriend about these feelings, and he even then took down some of the pictures later on in our relationship. Still, his house never felt like my home, as it felt like it was still hers. When we got engaged, we decided we would buy our own home, and we moved in right before we got married. Side note, this was very stressful with the wedding so soon after, would not recommend. During the moving process, I found a box after box of old photos and other materials. Photos of his ex, family photos of them together, baby photos, everything. Some of these were Polaroids. They were so old. They had been together for many, many years and had so much history together. I don't know why at this moment I snapped. Ooh. No, you didn't. No, you didn't, girl. No, you didn't. I don't know why, but at that moment I snapped. But I did. I threw the ones with her away. When we were putting photos of, oh my God, girl. When we were putting photos up in the new house, I didn't put any of her except for one with my stepdaughter. There was a box of things I donated, some of the items, and threw the rest away. No, you didn't! A box of her things, and I donated some of the items and threw the rest away. I even went onto the computer and deleted photos he had stored in there. At the time, I felt like I won, maybe. I don't even know what I was thinking this would accomplish, but I did it. When I tell you, she said, I don't know what she would accomplish. Baby, what she would have accomplished was an ass beating. If I was her stepdaughter, I would beat her ass. I would beat her ass. Like, beat her ass so good her ancestors gonna feel that shit. Like, that's how badly I would beat her. Because I don't make no damn sense. Like, that's someone's mother. That's someone's deceased wife. And you over here trying to get rid of people's memories that they had with that person. Oh my gosh, that's sick. That's sick. The fact that she really thought in her mind, like, you know what? I'm so upset. I'm so jealous. He already compromised by taking some of the photos down. And then you guys moved into a new house, which that honestly, that should have eliminated the fact that you don't feel like that, you don't feel like it's a home anymore, because that's something that you and your partner now share. And then the pictures of his his deceased wife is in a box. And you decide to sell that, and you decide to throw that away. Like, how insecure of an individual must you be to take away someone's memories like that? And then you talk about Polaroids. She's like, yeah, they're very old. They're Polaroids, and you decided to throw that away. Pictures have sentimental value, and you took that away from them. You took that away from your stepdaughter. You took that away from your husband. Whatever. Anyways. For the past 2 years, my husband hadn't noticed. Ooh! My stepdaughter turns 18 soon. She's a very intelligent girl. She graduated early, goes to a top-tier school, and is very well adjusted for someone who lost her mother so young. We've never been that close. I care for her, I do, but she never opened up to me and has never viewed me as a mom to her. I understand, but it hurts. Anyways, my husband's mom wanted photos of her as she was putting something together for her. He went to look for them, and as you can imagine, they weren't there. He asked me about them, and I admitted everything to him, as I wasn't going to lie to him. He is very angry at me and can barely look at me. I've asked him to go to marriage counseling, but he refuses. I'm 13 weeks pregnant, and I'm trying to manage the stress. He's devastated, not just for his daughter, but for himself. I know he loved his late wife very much, and if he was still here, he'd probably still be with her. And if she was still here, he'd probably still be with her. He's been in tears half the time when he's speaking to me and won't sleep in the same room as me. I've tried to explain that I've felt guilty ever since and why I did it, but he doesn't care. He asked me what he's supposed to tell his daughter. Some of the materials I donated threw away were really important. I know that I screwed up. I know that I need to make this up to my husband and his daughter, but I don't know how to. This was such a monumental screw up on my part. I've always been jealous of her, and I did not handle my emotions correctly. I've tried to track down photos of her by other people, and while I did find some from his parents and her friends, her parents died when she was young, and she was raised by her grandparents, who are now dead. There aren't many out there. Reddit, I love my husband and I want to fix this more than anything. I know that I'm hormonal right now and my mind is wandering around to every outcome that could happen. But what if this is the end of my marriage? I can't let that happen. I need to fix this. She's talking about she needs marriage counseling. To be honest, she needs counseling. Because the fact that her brain even allowed her to even process that, the fact that her brain even allowed her to even commit and stick to it, and decide, you know what, I'm gonna take away these memories from these people because I'm jealous. I'm going to take away these memories of his wife because I feel insecure. You need therapy. Especially because you're 13 weeks pregnant. Like, you don't want to put your emotional issues on your child that you're about to give birth to. You need therapy. And unfortunately, if her husband decided to divorce her, she's just gonna have to learn through that. I'm not forgiving. Again, this is subjective. Maybe I haven't grown. Maybe I'm not in the place of forgiveness the way someone might be out there that says this is something that could be fixable. For me personally, where I'm at in life, I wouldn't want to lay next to someone like that. I wouldn't want to be married to someone like that. I wouldn't want that person to have my last name. For what? For what? Because you weren't thinking about me. Because if you were thinking about me and you loved me the way that you said you loved me, that would have never crossed your mind of hurting someone. Not even just myself, but my daughter. 13. So the daughter was 13 when she lost her mom? Well, I don't know. She doesn't say. never mind. She doesn't say how old the daughter was when she had lost her mom. She just said that she met her husband 4 years ago. So the daughter lost her mom at a very young age. And those were all the pictures that she had of her mom. That's going to be the only thing. Oh my gosh. No, I wouldn't be able to come back from that. I would not be able to come back from that because you're selfish. You're selfish. The hell, my daughter, like if I was the husband, I'd be like, yeah, like, girl, my daughter, the things that you sold, what if my daughter would have want that? The pictures, my daughter's never going to get that back. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I'm not forgiving. I would not forgive her. What makes it worse, she out here talking about, oh, this is a very stressful time. Please understand where I'm coming from, girl. No. And anyone that understands you is just as bad. Just as bad. The only thing you can do now, get therapy for yourself so you don't put your insecurities on your child. Focus on you. If he happens to divorce you, baby, you're just going to have to deal with that, learn through it, and move on. Move on because, ooh, let me know what y'all think.